मेरा सभी डेलीगेट से निवेदन है कि वो अपने मोबाइल को या तो ऑफ कर लें, अन्यथा साइलेंट मोड में ले आए। प्लीज कीप योर मोबाइल इन आइदर इन साइलेंट मोड। गोइंग टू स्टार्ट द प्रोग्राम एट 11:05 एग्जैक्ट। सभी अपने कार्यकर्ताओं से निवेदन है कि वो जरा बाहर एक बार देख लें। अगर कोई भी डेलीगेट्स बाहर हैं तो उनसे निवेदन है।
Namaste, honored guests, dignitaries, brothers and sisters. On behalf of our host IASE deemed university and Gandhi Vidya Mandir Sadar Shahar, it is my pleasure and honor to welcome you to this international seminar on teacher education for peace and harmony. This event is co-hosted by Jain Vishwa Bharati, Gujarat Vidyapeeth, Global Harmony Association, the Temple of Understanding, and the Spiritual Assembly of Baha'is of India. It is dedicated to the honor of our dearly missed and late Dr. Shri L.M. Singhvi. The American President John F. Kennedy said, "Let us think of education as the means of developing our greatest abilities, because in each of us there is a private hope and a dream which, fulfilled, can translate into benefit for everyone and give greater strength to the nation. It is therefore our hope, our prayer, that we will all have the opportunity to both contribute and learn from each other. For as another American said, a teacher effects eternity. He can never tell where his influence ceases." We will be beginning in time-honored Bharatiya fashion with the inauguration prayer. And this was composed by the founder of Gandhi Vidya Mandir, Swami Shri Ram Sharan Ji Swamiji Maharaj, who was then Shri Kanhaiya Lal Ji Dugad. I humbly request everyone to switch off their mobile phones during this proceeding. The prayer will be led by Shri Bharatmal Dugad. With everyone.
रोतम पथ पर ज्योति चरण उतरो 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 तम पथ पर ज्योति चरण उतरो 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 पद चिन्ह बने नखतावलिया झूमे दिश दिश दीपावलिया जन शुभ युग मंगल किरणों की छवि मांग रहा तुम से कण कण उतरो 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 तम पथ पर ज्योति चरण उतरो 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 अवनी अंबर के अधर मिले मानव संस्कृति के सुमन खिले जनमानस की लहरी कर ले पावन ज्योत्सना का पुण्य वरण उतरो 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 तम पथ पर ज्योति चरण उतरो 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 यहीं यमुना तट पर मोहन भर दे मुरली का स्वर लोलावल रश्मि जग को जिससे अणु अणु आलोकित हो क्षण क्षण उतरो 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 तम पथ पर ज्योति चरण उतरो 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 तम पथ पर ज्योति चरण उतरो 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 उतरो
When Gandhi Vidya Mandir was in the process of being founded, the legendary philosopher and freedom fighter Vinoba Bhave exhorted Sri Kanhaiya Lalji Dugard to light a lamp where the darkness is deepest. Thus, as education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire, I therefore humbly request our Chancellor, Sri Kanakmalji Dugard, to lead our chief guest, Swamiji Sri Somgiriji Maharaj, onto the stage to light the diya. Our co-host, Shamniya Charitra Pragyaji, to lead Srimati Kamla Singhvi and her daughter, Abhilasha Singhvi. Professor Iyengar, to lead His Excellency Ted Aldrich and Dr. Charles Marshia. And our Vice-Chancellor, Sri Bhatt, to lead Srimati Kiran Yadav to the stage, please. I would like to invite our Chancellor, Sri K.M. Dugard, Chancellor ISA Deemed University, to deliver the welcome address.
Bowing to the sacred memory of two great personalities whose photographs we are seeing here in the back of mine. And again bowing to some of the revered monks. One of them is sitting here. Some of them are just giving their holy presence in the hall. His Excellency, the Ambassador of Bosnia, Dr. Sudarshan Iyengar, Vice Chancellor Gujarat Vidyapeeth, Professor Samani Charitra Pragyaji, Vice Chancellor Jain Vishwa Bharati, and very special Mrs. Yadav, a symbol of democracy after a very long time in Nepal. She is the Member of Parliament of Nepal and a very important person, Professor Charles Marsika. Here I not forget to mention the name of Professor Leo Samskov, who is sitting before me. Then if I start taking the name of everybody here, it will be too long and I won't be able to welcome you all properly. So just after taking one more name and bowing to her, Mrs. Kamla Singhvi, who is so humble, she doesn't want to sit on the dais also. With a very sick health, she has come here for this program only. And my most respected delegates, some of our very old alumni, friends, this is a matter of great delight for me, my university, my institute, that you are all here. Whenever any guests come in Indian's house, he is respected as Devata, God. Well, we might make some mistake in the future in the coming 3 days, but I won't forget to welcome you properly. And we are situated about 350 kilometers from here, and in a foreign town or rather in a distant town we are sitting. So if there is anything short coming to you, with the welcome I want to beg your pardon also. Here I am proud to mention that Dr. Lakshmi Mal Singhvi doesn't need any introduction, but we are proud to dedicate this seminar to him because he was the person who always inspired us in the original idea of Reverend Swamiji Ramcharanji Maharaj, our founder, of carrying out the torch of value education throughout our 61 years of life. Friends, this seminar is a very humble and small step in the direction of peace teachers. Swamiji used to say, and I have heard him many times say, that teacher is not the stick of the blind. Teacher has got number of functions. Teacher is the one who does the work of surgeon, operates the cataract of ignorance from the eyes of his disciples, his students, gives them the compass of self-introspection with the critical eye to guide their activities, gives them the torch of value of human values, and then indicates him the goal of their life and asks them to proceed. And that's what he did us. It was 61 years and some months back. He started doing it. He did it all his life. And we are trying to continue the same legacy here. Gandhi Vidya Mandir started on Gandhian principles, and there also especially emphasize on value education because we think Supatra Dan of Vidya is the right Dan. And Supatra Dan in our founder Swamiji's ideas was not just selecting the right person, but it was this reforming the person into the right person and then giving him the knowledge to make him capable of receiving it, make him utilizing of the knowledge properly. Because until a field weapon is, if the field weapon is given, firearm is given to a young child, he might do any damage. Knowledge is a weapon, and it can hurt even the getter and the world, all of them. But if he knows how to use it, then it's the right time to get the knowledge. And that's what we want to do here. We are doing it here. Now about this program, I want to tell a few words. Humanity, from the evolution time, has been in the deep search of peace and harmony. But still, we know that peace is elusive. We have not been able to find peace even today, after thousands of years of civilization. Famous sociologists like my friend Leo Samuskow will agree to me that number of new inventions have been done. Social structures were formed, countries were formed, government was invented to give peace. But everything has fragmented peace. Everything has done more harm to harmony than giving relief to it. So, for a very long time, India has found out one thing, and that was a teacher. After a very long intervals, we had some teachers who tried in the direction of peace. They achieved it. Of course, subsequently, their knowledge were camouflaged by rituals and other things. So it might not be that effective now. But the people, enlightened people like Jesus Christ, Gautam Buddha, Mahavir, and number of them have, as teachers, brought the message of peace in the world. Now, one by one, after long intervals, might not have been so effective. So here we want to make a tradition with all your help. Swamiji had this pain in the heart that we are not producing the right type of teachers. And the teachers are not producing the right type of students. And students are the future of the world, as you all know. That pain he transferred to us, the second generation administrator of this institution, this university. And my friends, this is what the pain which is in our heart, I want to distribute in all hearts. You all join me in find out the right type of teacher education and the education for teacher educators so that they could produce right teachers, teachers could produce right students, and right students will gradually bring peace in this world. And I tell you, this is not a very difficult time, but this is a very critical time as well. If we don't wake up now, it might be too late. It was never so badly needed that it's done today. So I'm so glad that all of you feel the same pain which I feel and which Swamiji felt and our late Chancellor Dr. Singhvi felt. With that, I'm so encouraged that our very humble and small step of this seminar will be very fruitful, successful, and long-lasting effective. Friends, you have come here. You don't know how delighted I am. You don't know how delighted my family. We call the staff and the faculty of my institution as a family. We never take it as an officers or senior and juniors. So how delighted my family is. You'll see them working. Even the senior professors will be working and we just might be offering the food or might be helping you somewhere. That is what Swamiji has told me, all of us. And that is what we want to distribute amongst humbleness, firmness, but rigidness on the principles, and our dedication to the principles, to human values, and dedication to the peace. My friends, again and again, I welcome you, and I am proud you are here. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you to our Chancellor. I want to just say a few words about the late Dr. L.M. Singhvi. In this day and age, politicians have a very bad name, but Dr. Singhvi was not just a politician whose values were absolutely impeccable. He was a scholar, a visionary, a humanitarian, a writer. No adjective can overestimate his qualities. He single-handedly, from my experience living in London, changed the perception of India. He was the longest-serving High Commissioner in London, and the work that he did there continues to this day. We are very, very honoured and touched that Dr. Singhvi's wife, Mrs. Kamala Singhvi, despite her ill health, has travelled here today, and with her she has brought her daughter, Abhilasha Ji Singhvi. I would request our Chancellor to honour these two with a shawl. it was through the untiring work and advice given by Dr. Singhvi that helped Gandhi Vidya Mandir and the university grow. Along with our sorely missed late Vice-Chancellor, Shri Milab Dugard, and our current Chancellor, we are here today hosted by this amazing institution. To tell us more about the remarkable personality of Dr. Singhvi is his daughter. She has truly taken the saying Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam for her life value through her work in giving limbs to those who are limbless, in refacilitating their lives, in giving them work. She has lived and breathed their pain, and she has given them hope for the future. I would ask her to come up onto the stage, please.
Namaskar. The distinguished luminaries sitting on the dais, distinguished guests in this August gathering, all members of the Gandhi Vidya Mandir Parivar, ladies and gentlemen. I consider it a great honor and privilege to be invited to speak on the happy and momentous occasion of this landmark international seminar organized by Gandhi Vidya Mandir. It is an added privilege as it is dedicated to the memory of that noble and magnificent man, my father, Dr. L.M. Singhvi. Someone so very dear to me, whose unconditional love and boundless affection always did and continues to anchor my life. Gandhi Vidya Mandir, conceptualized and founded by Sri Kanhaiyalalji Dugard, later known as Swami Ram Sharan Ji Maharaj, embodied the principles of universal humanism, ahimsa, sarvodaya, and sarvadharma sadbhav. These were ideals close to my father's heart, and hence, as Chancellor of the university, he was able to identify himself with the soul of the institute and make a significant contribution to its evolution. My father's life was spent in the ceaseless quest for eternal truth and reality. In his own words, and I quote, and I seek your forgiveness for switching over to Hindi. जीना ही नहीं अंतिम ध्येय जीवन का, जीने का मर्म समझना ही जीवन है। यश कीर्ति अर्थ भी नहीं, न सुख वैभव है। प्रभुता केवल संयोग समागम क्रम है। चिंतन दर्शन वाणी विलास सुंदरता, इसमें भी बस पथ पर चलने का भ्रम है। अनुभूति कहीं अंतस में हो जीवन की, करुणा की गीली आंखें हो तन मन की। जीना जुड़ना देकर पाना ही जीवन है। जीवन का उपग्रह स्वयं परस्पर जीवन है। जीवन ही अंतिम ध्येय नहीं जीवन का, जीवन का मर्म समझना ही जीवन है। Living is not the ultimate destination of life. To understand the essence of life and its journey is the ultimate objective. My father revered Sri Kanhaiyalalji Dugard, whose inspiring and luminous presence remains imprinted in my childhood memory. In fact, hearing Utrotam Path Par Jyoti Charan today took me straight back into my childhood. Sri Dugard considered my mother as his sister, and that deep bond of affection was so strong that it has filtered down 4 generations of this family. On a humorous note, in a lighter vein, I personally owe a debt of gratitude to Gandhi Vidya Mandir for my own existence, as it was in that campus that my father met my mother for the first time and decided to get married. When Sri Kanakmal Dugard, President Gandhi Vidya Mandir, requested me to speak on my father, I was flooded with a number of emotions that overwhelmed me. Many of you present here today would know of my father as a leading constitutional expert, a distinguished parliamentarian, an expert in public and private international law, a doyen of the Indian bar, an indefatigable exponent of human rights, a poet, publicist, linguist, and literature. Yes, he was all this, and much beyond all this. उनके लिए कुछ भी कहने में लगता है कि शब्द सब व्यर्थ हैं, क्योंकि शब्दों की परे ही कुछ अर्थ हैं. I find it befitting to begin my speech in what I believe are the most apt words as a tribute to my father. कौन से स्वर में कहूँ अपनी व्यथा को, उस दिवंगत व्यक्ति की यश कीर्ति की कर्मठ कथा को. शब्दवाणी स्वर सभी अवरुद्ध हैं, किंतु उनकी जिंदगी की सब नज़ीरें शुद्ध हैं. प्रेरणा के स्रोत नश्वर तिमिर से घिरते नहीं, मृत्यु मत अभिमान कर, ऐसे मनुज मरते नहीं, ऐसे मनुज मरते नहीं. The task of writing about my father being so daunting, I took refuge in an article I had written for him almost 20 years ago in the book A Diplomatic Sojourn, which reveals the little-known aspects of his many splendored personality. And I quote, I start writing. I must admit that when Shri Kanakmalji Dugar asked me to speak about my father, I was tempted to reveal to you the little-known aspects of his personality, of his very public personality, as an ode from a daughter to her father. I start writing and a lump forms in my throat. What do I write about him, who has seen it all, done it all? Enviable glory, undying fame, unbelievable success in all that he undertook, accolades, crowning achievements. Yet it is not those things which cause the lump in my throat, nor even the fact that he is my father and I'm proud to be his daughter. Indeed, he is the one person who understands me, knows me, and loves me unconditionally. Many a times, people talk to me in awe of the man who has achieved what others may take lifetimes to achieve. As I hold pen to paper, I have images of Pa sitting with me in a clinic with a sprained ankle, or in a dentist's clinic when I have an aching tooth. Memories of him, some so distant yet distinct, throwing me up in the air as a baby and then cuddling me as I came down with a giggling delight, cracking pistachios for me to eat, Pa seated in the first row with a gleam of pride as I performed my classical dance debut. A smile spreads over my face as I recall a young me saying, Papa, I hate mushrooms, or something else. And Papa replying, don't say hate. If you dislike them so much, say, I don't particularly fancy them. My father, his delight in life, his joy in the journey of life, his ability to go fully with whatever it is on hand, along with his simple words of wisdom, can be summed up aptly in the words of William Blake, who wrote, to see the world in a grain of sand and heaven in a wild flower, to hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. I believe that nothing would capture my father's multifaceted personality more aptly than the poems that he penned, because they reflect the depth and breadth of his intellect and emotions. I therefore take the liberty of shedding light on the not-so-revealed aspects of his persona through his poetry. My father's relation with my mother, their intense mutual love and devotion, was well known and was the stuff that fairy tale romances are made of, the only difference being it sustained 50 years of married life. A month before he passed away, he dedicated a book from his hospital bed called Punaschay to my mother with an extremely touching sonnet written to her, which I now share with you. प्रिया पत्नी सहचरी को प्रगाढ़ प्रीतिपूर्वक एक सोनेट के साथ यह पुस्तक समर्पित। आभार बहुत झेले हैं मैंने जीवन भर, भारी लगता है सखी आज क्यों अपनापन, उपकारों का प्रतिदान चुकाता विनिमय में अपनेपन का भुगतान नहीं कर पाता मैं। स्नेह उड़ेला है इतना जीवन में, मृन्मय यह पात्र छलकता ही जाता। यदि नहीं तुम्हारा यह संबल होता, जीवन का दीप कभी का बुझ जाता। अब भी निष्कंप जल रहा यह दीपक, आंचल की ओट रहा पाता। ऋण ही होता तो मैं किश्तों में दे पाता, नाते रिश्ते का समीकरण भी निभ जाता। पर सखी तुम्हारे मौन समर्पण से व्याकुल, अपने को आज अधूरा अक्षम मैं पाता। लक्ष्मीमल सिंह जी। For his own mother, to whom he was unbelievably attached, and about whom he could never speak even at the age of 75 years, without his eyes brimming over with tears, my father wrote, बचपन में तेरे आंचल में ममता का अक्षय कोश मिला, जब मेरे विद्रोही मन को बाकी सबका आक्रोश मिला। जग से अनबन थी बचपन में, स्वीकार नहीं था अनुशासन, मैं निपट अकेला दुनिया में, केवल तेरा ही आश्वासन। तेरी ममता का आश्वासन संकल्पों का पाथेय बना, तेरे दुख सुख का संवेदन मेरे सपनों का श्रेय बना। His love overwhelmed me in the last days of his life, my hand under his head and my head on his chest, and he would not let me move from that position till the day that he departed from this world. He left me with a vast reservoir of spiritual experiences, even in the last days, and showed me that it was possible for him to embrace death as passionately as he embraced life. Right from defining which clothes that he would wear for his cremation, to the last sentence that he spoke to me before he passed away. मैं तुम्हारा पिता हूँ, मैं पहले भी तुम्हारा पिता था, मैं हमेशा तुम्हारा पिता रहूँगा. That was the last sentence he spoke before he departed from this world. I do believe that his love alone provides me with the strength to bear this unimaginable and irreparable loss. As I conclude, I would like to share an interesting analogy that I came across, which seemed apt in an international seminar on teachers' education for peace and harmony. It goes like this. A pencil teaches us 5 things we need to learn. A pencil teaches us 5 things we need to learn. 1, that what is important is what is inside us rather than what is outside of us. 2, that it was always possible to erase the mistakes we have made. 3, sometimes we have to undergo painful sharpenings in order to make us better. 4, that whatever we do leaves behind a mark. And finally, that in order to be the best of what we can be, we should allow ourselves to be guided by the hand that holds us. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude on behalf of my mother, Srimati Kamla Singhvi, my brother, who is not here today, Dr. Abhishek Singhvi, and myself, to Gandhi Vidya Mandir for dedicating this event to the memory of my father and keeping his memory alive. I'm indebted to you, our distinguished audience, for having taken time off and being here with us today. I would like to express my deep gratitude through this poem, which aptly conveys the emotion that my father would have wished to convey to you. यह सब कुछ मेरा है, पर सवाल है कब तक? और अगर कहूं कि जब तक मैं हूं, तो क्या भरोसा कि मैं कब तक हूं? एक पल भी तो पक्का नहीं। असलियत में जो कुछ है वह यहीं का है और रहेगा भी यहीं। मेरा अपना तो केवल गर्व गुमान है, या दूसरों से मिला आदर सम्मान है। मेरा तो मेरे साथ राख हो जाएगा, दूसरों का दिया हुआ जब तक वे चाहेंगे शायद रह जाएगा। थैंक यू ऑल वंस अगेन।
Thank you so much, Abhilasha ji. We can see that your gift for poetry has not only just been received from your father, but from your mother as well, who has written many poems, many books, and has given much to the cause of women's upliftment. Thank you. Our chief guest today is Swami Shri Somgiri Maharaj ji. He is himself a professor of engineering who performed his sadhana at Mount Abu. He is learned in all spheres, but is specifically renowned for his work in the field of education. He has taught innumerable students human values for over a decade. Last year alone, 130,000 students took training from him. I humbly request him to give us the benefit of his wisdom today, and I would ask that he gives his speech in Hindi. Thank you.
विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तं हदेवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशम् मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। निधये सर्वविद्यानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। आगम प्रणवपीठिकाम् अमलवर्णमङ्गलस्वरूपिणी आगमावयवशोभिनी अखिलवेदसारकृतशेखरी मूलमन्त्रमुखमण्डलाम् मुदितनादबिन्दुनवयौवना मातृकां त्रिपुरसुन्दरी मनसि भावयामि परदेवतां श्रद्धा गर्भगृहान्तस्थां श्रुतिमूर्ध्नि लसत्पदां संवित्स्वरूपिणीं वन्दे स्वात्मरूपां परां शिवाम्। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। नमो विराट स्वरूपिण्ये नमः सूत्रात्ममूर्तये नमो व्याकृतरूपिण्ये नमः श्री ब्रह्ममूर्तये नमः श्री ब्रह्ममूर्तये। ओम तत्सत्। परब्रह्मणे नमः। आज के इस अत्यंत ही महनीय मंगलमय पावन प्रेरणास्पद पवित्र अवसर पर माँ भारती के चरणों में कोटिशः नमन अर्पित करता हूँ। हमारी ओंकार मूलक संस्कृति, चैतन्य मूलक संस्कृति, आत्म मूलक संस्कृति, इस मातृमयी संस्कृति के प्रति कोटि कोटि वंदन अर्पित करता हूँ। प्रकृति माता के प्रति कोटिशः वंदन है, भारत माता के प्रति कोटिशः वंदन है। इस पवित्र देश की, इस पवित्र नगरी की चेतना के प्रति शतशः वंदन। और आज जो आह्लाद समुद्र बनकर उमड़ रहा है, नवनव भावनाएं, नवनव उन्मेष, नवनव प्रेरणाएं, नवनव अंकुरित यहाँ पर चेतनाएं पल्लवित हो रही हैं, उसके प्रति वंदन अर्पित करता हूँ। मैं एक बहुत गहरे भाव में चला गया हूँ। मैं स्मरण करता हूँ आदरणीय रामशरण जी महाराज का, जिनके चित्त में वह विराट सिमट कर आ गया और फिर विराट की ओर स्पंदित होने लगा। मैं उस कनकमय मिलापमय पवित्र कुल के प्रति शत शत वंदन अर्पित करता हूँ। आप सब लोग बाहर से पधारे हैं, आप सब लोगों का इस अवसर पर हार्दिक अभिनंदन करता हूँ। प्रत्येक व्यक्ति में एक अव्यक्त अपने आप को अभिव्यक्त करता है। In every manifest there is one unmanifest, mysteriously unfolding itself. व्यक्ति को केवल व्यक्ति नहीं समझना, व्यक्ति में एक विराट अपने आप को छटपटा करके अपनी पूर्णता के लिए अभिव्यक्त करता है। वे चाहे कृष्ण हो, चाहे रामशरण जी हो, चाहे महात्मा गांधी हो, जिनकी गोद में हम यहाँ पर बैठे हुए हैं। जल बिच मीन पियासी, मुझे सुन सुन आवत हाँसी। We are all immersed in an ocean of bliss. We are all immersed in an ocean of peace. We are all immersed in an ocean of love. We are all immersed in an ocean of beauty. But we are not aware of it, because the instrument to experience this is polluted. Our volition, our emotion, our cognition, they are in fragmentation, trying to go here and there. So try to understand each and every word. The topic in this seminar we want to ponder over collectively. Teacher, education. इसमें बोलोगे इसमें? Teacher, education, peace and harmony. Now I'll try to define each and every word in a very short time. अक्षर अक्षर मिलकर शब्द बनते हैं। अ से क्ष तक जो रमण करता है उसको अक्षर कहते हैं। शब्द के पीछे एक मौन होता है। मौनम ज्ञानम प्रयच्छति। मौन के पीछे एक अखंड चेतना होती है, अनकंटेन्ड, अनलिमिटेड consciousness. Are we conscious of that consciousness which is all pervading, which is everywhere, which is of the form of peace? इसलिए यहाँ पर हम लक्षण करेंगे, परिभाषा करेंगे. What is peace? What is harmony? What is the ultimate peace? What is the ultimate harmony? Try to understand. Peace is that living principle. Try to understand it. We are entering the seminar. In the coming days, we have to dive deep within and without. So try to catch hold of every definition. Peace is that living principle which interpenetrates the pieces, tukde, things in pieces, mind in pieces, heart broken to pieces. Peace is the soul of everything, every being. It is Sarvatma. Peace is not just a situation. It is a vibrating peace, living peace, peace of the consciousness. Peace is the name of unmanifested, unified, trying to manifesting itself, consciousness. जीव जगत ईश्वर की एकता का नाम शांति है. Are we all in peace and harmony? If we are ourselves not in peace and harmony, I think it's better to seek that peace and harmony. Prapanchopashamam shantam shivam advaitam chaturtham manyante sa atma sa vijnaya. In the Mandukya Upanishad, and I'll try to point out this thing. The Vedas, the Shrutis, in the beginning was the Word was God, the Word was with the God. What is this word? This is the Omkara, this is the Anahat Nada. The world is more of a thought than a thing. Now scientists have now trying to experience it, trying to express it in these words. The world is more of a thought than a thing. So now I'll try to, so prapanchopashamam shantam shivam advaitam chaturtham manyante sa atma sa vijne. The ground of being, the material cause and the efficient cause, that is your own atma, our own real self. It is all pervading, and that is the peace. Yat kritakam tat anityam. Do we want to create peace and harmony? No, whatever is created is bound to decay and die. We must search that peace and harmony which is everlasting, which is everywhere, which is beyond time, space, and causation, and which is our own true self. So this is the Siddhanta. And now, the peace in a person, the peace and harmony in a person, in a family, in a society, in a city, in a country, in the entire world. Try to search that peace, understand. First, try to understand what is peace and what is harmony. What is the harmony? A thing, a person, or a system is said to be in harmony within and without when it expresses and experiences the soul of souls, which is the substratum of everything, which is immanent and transcendent. Remaining ever transcendent, it is immanent. हमेशा विश्वातीत रहते हुए यह विश्वमय है. That is the harmony. The variety is the pattern of the world. Entire world is Nam-Rupatmakam Jagat. But there is a thread which is interpenetrating everywhere. That is the Sutratma. We are all here from different countries. If I focus my attention on difference, then maybe that I will be out of harmony. But you are all human beings, peace lovers. You are all living entities. You are all potential Brahma. As the Ramakrishna used to say, Pancha Bhuter Bhander Brahma Pade Khonder. Our real self is Brahman. And I'm going to Nirdosham Hi Samam Brahma. Peace expressed is harmony. Harmony experienced is peace. So let us try to understand these words and then try to establish the peace and harmony everywhere. If your definitions are not correct, then we may go astray. So first the definition should be correct. So a person was in the search of a perfect tree. He searched and searched, but he couldn't find a perfect tree. The fruit should be perfect, very tasty, very juicy, very colorful. The flower should be very fragrant, very beautiful. So the twigs, the root, everything should be perfect. He couldn't find a perfect tree. He happened to meet a brahmachari. He expressed his problem that I am in search of a perfect tree. I searched and searched, I couldn't find. He told, I myself don't know the perfect tree. I haven't seen it. But maybe that I'm sure that my guru will be able to help you. So they went to the forest. In a kutia, his guru was there. So that person and that brahmachari went there, and that person expressed his problem. Listening patiently, that guru, with a sigh, he told, my boy, you will never find a perfect tree. So he was again, that person was in dejection, very sad. But with a sigh, he told, but I can teach you to see the perfection in every tree. So there is a perfection everywhere. That drishti should be there. Who is going to give that drishti? Let us see. So peace and harmony on volitional level, peace and harmony on emotional level, peace and harmony on cognitional level. So if we are able to bring that peace and harmony on our kriya, on our emotion, on our cognitional, so the capacity to will, the capacity to know, the capacity to be one with. If all these three capacities, three powers within us are purified, integrated, and given the direction of evolution to meet the ultimate perfection, which is everywhere, that is of the form of the peace, that is of the form of the love, that is form of the ananda, that is of the form of perfection and purnata. Then we'll be able to do something. But what is the karana of ashanti? What is the karana of the disharmony? Because our concepts are not clear. Our concepts about the world, how do we see the world? Do we want to conquer the world? Have we got the bhoga drishti? We enjoy. Sometimes some people say we want to enjoy the nature. What do you mean by enjoying the nature? Do you want to enjoy your mother? So Prakriti, world is our mother, the mother earth, the mother nature, the mother land, our own mother. So drishti should be correct. It is the galat drishti, bhoga drishti, and the artha drishti. In our Puranas, those who are familiar with the Puranas, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, they are making it everywhere, dancing. They are the demons. Artha drishti, paisa, paisa, paisa. Hiranyakashipu, Kashipu mane bistara, bhoga drishti. And they should be governed by the dharma drishti and oriented towards that perfection, which we call the moksha. So, quantum mechanics and relativity, they have really revealed a new vision of the world. Quantum theory has abolished the notion of fundamentally separated objects, and it has introduced the concept of participator to replace that of the observer, and may find it necessary to include the human consciousness in its description of the world. Now, this is new world which is coming by the scientists. They are putting before us. So, you should change drishti about the Jagat and the Karana of the Jagat. Do you all believe in God? I think don't believe in the God, it is very horrifying. If you don't correctly define the God, which is everywhere in every pore, which is your own true self, if the wrong definition of the God will be taken, you will be either dull, you will be drenched in the tamoguna, you will either be very rajoguna. So try to define the God correctly. So जगत के प्रति दृष्टि, जगत कारण के प्रति दृष्टि, मनुष्य के प्रति दृष्टि, If you project even the physical frame of the woman on the cosmic screen, the secrets of the creation will be revealed to you. Do you know this thing? This is our culture. This is our Bharatiya Parampara. We see the woman as the incarnation of the Jagadamba, Satchida Rupini, Ichha Kriya, Jnana Shakti May, just springs of the entire world from that Jagadamba. So, correct vision. Your children are not your children. They are sons and daughters of the life's longing for itself. They come through you, not for you, not from you. Drishti about woman, drishti about child. This just few panktis. आंगन में फूल खिला मैं बोला मेरा तो मुरझाया. आंगन में फूल खिला मैं बोला मेरा तो मुरझाया. फूल खिला एक और मैं बोला तेरा तो मुस्काया. खिला फूल एक और मैं बोला तू खिला. वह बोला ले मैं तुझ में खिला. तब से वह खिले जा रहा है. गंध गीत लिखे जा रहा है. आंगन में फूल खिला. This is our culture. So our drishti about every creative work, about our child, drishti for our guru, drishti for the old man, drishti about the death, about the birth. So now the scientists are trying to show us the unified force field theory, electromagnetic force, gravitational force, nuclear force, bioforce, mental force, psychic force, and the unified force field theory. Now they are expressing it. It should be the force of the karma, about which the Hindus talk. So our drishti about karma ka siddhant, punarjanma ka siddhant, and in the center the human. Nahi manushat shreshtha taram hi kinchit. Manushya se shreshtha aur koi nahi hai. With these views in our mind and few shlokas from the Bhagavad Gita, about which Ram Sharanji Maharaj used to talk very profusely about Gita, our Kanakmalji, Milab Bhai, and entire this Gandhi Vidyapit, Swam Mahatma Gandhi used to say, it's my mother. Bhagavad Gita, right from second chapter to the end, the peace, there is a mention of peace, everlasting peace. Peace on the volitional level, peace on the devotional level, peace on the super level. Antim param shantim nasti buddhira yuktasya nacha yuktasya bhavana nacha bhavayata shanti ashantasya kuta sukham. Peace and sukha, ananda, happiness, love, beauty, they are all interconnected. So, apuryamanam achala pratishtham samudramapah pravishanti yadvat tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashanti mapnoti na kamakami. Vihaya kamanya sarvan pumascharita nispriha niramamo nirhankara sa shanti madhigachyati. With reference to the educational system, who gets the knowledge? Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. Tatparah sanyatendriya jnanam ladha param shantim achirenadhi gachyati. Where is that Shraddha? Where is that Diksha? They are just, they have run away from our educational institutions. So what Kanak Bhai told very correctly, it is a family. We have reduced the guru to a servant. जो सिस्टम गुरु को पेड सर्वेंट समझता है वो कभी गुरु रह नहीं सकता, वहाँ गुरु मर जाएगा. So guru is always Jagat Guru. In the root of the creation, that mother is there, Jagadamba is there, she is the guru. Manifest that guru in your institution. Manifest that guru in your own self. If you want to be an ideal teacher, invoke that divine mother in yourself. And when the mother is there, what is the need of training? Do we train a mother how to suckle the child, how to love the child, how to hug the child? So bring that thing in you, and then what is that darshana? What is the Shiksha Darshana? What is the Bharatiya Shiksha Darshana? If it is away from our soul of our culture, that is the Atma Brahma Aikya. But the Vyavaharik Darshana is there. There is a ruler. There is an order in the world, and if we disobey that order, we will be punished. So, the most important characteristic of the Eastern worldview, one could almost say the essence of it is the awareness of the unity and mutual interrelations of all things and events. Philosopher Kepara in the Tao of Physics, he writes, the Eastern traditions constantly refer to this ultimate individual reality which manifests itself in all things and of which all things are parts. It is called Brahman in Hinduism, Dharmakaya in Buddhism, and Tao in Taoism. Quantum and theory has abolished the false notion of separatedness. Now let us try. एक आंदोलन की तरह है कनक भाई. You have thus initiated that आंदोलन, but go to the root. ऊपर ऊपर से रहेंगे तो कुछ मिलने वाला नहीं है. Sitting on the heap of arms, we are talking of the peace and harmony. The nations are sitting on the heaps of arms, but we don't need these heaps of the arms. We need the arms of love. And where is love? That love. Go deep within. See the entire world as one living, single living organism. That Prakriti Mata. So जगत के प्रति दृष्टि ठीक, जीवन के प्रति दृष्टि ठीक हो, जगत की विविधता के प्रति दृष्टि ठीक हो, विविधता में एकता के प्रति आपकी एक आग्रह हो, एकता में अनेकता भारत की विशेषता, बट दैट विशेषता